right, hey guys, it's Landon Smith here, and we're going to talk about the top 5 suburbs around the Denver area. So, this is going to be a fun list, and there's been a lot of people that have been moving from Denver to the suburb areas ever since COVID happened. And so, a lot of these places are fantastic, wonderful environments. They've got lots of amenities, in some cases close to the mountains. So, let's start out with number 5, uh, Morrison. And I'm going to talk about Morrison because Morrison is a fun place, you guys. It's got an amazing old main street that's tucked up against the mountains. You've got Red Rocks is the famous concert venue that's there where people come in from all over the world to see this incredible Red Rocks natural setup for a concert venue. And some of the greatest artists all over the world come to perform there, and including like the Beatles way back in the day and just some of the legends as well. So that's a big reason. There's Tiny Town, which is a really fun spot for kids to take people. That's kind of up in the mountains, and it's like this little mini figurines. They've created like this whole city that kids can walk through and do a bunch of things there. So there's just a lot of cool spots in Morrison that I recommend checking out, and that makes it fun to live over there. You're also way close to the ski areas and all the amazing resorts that we have here in Colorado. When you're in Morrison, you're only about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes away from the first one that comes up, which is Loveland. So that's a great area. Then, if we skip to the next one, suburb number 4 is Castle Rock. Okay, I could talk for a while about Castle Rock. Whenever we want to have fun with our kids, we usually go down to Castle Rock because they've developed some incredible parks down there. The first one is Philip Miller Park. It's a huge park. It's got a big turf football slash lacrosse field, and it's also got this slide that's, I swear it's like 100 feet long, with a big playground, gas fire pits that you can operate, and they also have a zip line and a ropes course that are like some of the most scenic, cool, um, you know, zip line courses that you can find. But then the ropes course is like it's got like 70 different obstacles on it. They've got some like American Ninja Warrior type stuff if you really want to risk it, and it's just a fun spot. So highly recommend Morrison as a suburb. There's some really nice homes. The Meadows community is just amazing as far as like having restaurants and different shops. You do have some business down there, some jobs, an outlet center for shops, um, for all kinds of retail. So it's a really tough place to be, and scenic all around, 360-degree views, panoramic views of mountains all around you. So definitely a great one. Zachary Parish Park also is another one. They've got like 8 pickleball courts there, big playground, really cool setup as far as that goes. And then they do have like a little indoor water park and amphitheater too, and just some really fun things to do. Great environment for individuals and families. All right, next on the list, we've got number 3 suburb on the list is Littleton. This is where I grew up. Littleton's amazing. It's just southwest of Denver, about a 20-minute commute to get into town. It's tucked up against the mountains, kind of like Morrison is, but it's just a little further south. You've got some really great communities in Littleton with amenities. One of them is the Cane Carroll Valley area. You walk into or drive into this canyon, and it just opens up back there, and there's red rocks everywhere. You've got a lot of like arrowhead looking rock sculptures, amazing hikes, bike riding trails, all kinds of stuff back there. And then they've got this community center with a tennis bubble, big pool, and all kinds of things to do in King Carroll. And then there's some other really nice communities. Downtown Littleton is incredible as far as just like the walk score goes. You can walk up and down Old Main Street in downtown Littleton, and they just have some really cool things that happen there, including Santa, who comes on Black Friday every year. So that's a fun one. Amazing restaurants, candy shop, chocolate shop, just all kinds of stuff that are fun to see. And then some other great neighborhoods with some really good, construction. There's some custom homes. You've got the Polo Reserve where Carmelo Anthony lived, and a lot of professional athletes and big time executives live. It's a very nice neighborhood. You've got some other like one-offs, Watson Lane, Christensen, a lot of these different areas that are really cool. And then Grant Ranch and Governor's Ranch, two huge multi-plan developments that are worth checking out if you're interested in the real estate in Littleton. Those areas have, Grant Ranch actually has like a boat dock where you can paddleboard, you can canoe, kayak, that sort of a thing. Anything that's not motorized, you can go out there and have some fun on the water. And it used to be a private water skiing lake back in the 70s, and now it's turned into what it is now. It's absolutely beautiful. They've got a nice community center with tennis courts and reception hall and everything. Governor's Ranch, similarly, but a little bit older, like go back a decade. You've got Governor's Ranch, which is on a nice plot of land and right, kind of in the west side of Littleton. And there you've got also tennis courts, pool, all the amenities that a lot of people are looking for out of a neighborhood. And now that the trees have grown for 30 years in some of these communities, they're just like absolutely gorgeous. You go when things are in full bloom, it is so pretty, and it just all these communities have aged very well. So can't say enough good things about Littleton. Then we've got number two. Okay, this is a great part of town. One of the reasons why this is number two, we're talking about Central Park, which is on the northeast side of town. So it's just, I guess directly east almost from downtown Denver. And so you're really close to everything. And that's why I like it so much and it's high on the list, is because proximity to everything is fantastic. But yet, it's still one of the best school systems out there. You get like nines and tens on greatschools.org when you look up the schools there in Stapleton. And so it's tough to beat that. You also have some really awesome amenities. So like everything looks, like aesthetically, as you're driving down the street or walking, you see different types of homes, but they do look similar. But you have like some really cool condos and then some vertical townhomes and then some single family homes. It's kind of a mix as far as how they plan the community, but they all have really neat style. It's more modern, and especially up in Northfield, which is kind of the extension of Central Park. And Stanley's Marketplace is like one of the coolest places to go check out. It's kind of like an old airport hangar basically, but you go inside. There's a market outside a lot of days where it's really fun to check that out as they're selling things in the market. But then you walk in and you've got this indoor area with all these different shops and places. It's like a little food mall basically, and they've got some merchandise like clothes and stuff too. But you can go around, and some of the best like restaurants I've ever had are in there. Denver Biscuit Company's in there, so it's just a cool place to check out, and so close to the city, close to the Denver Zoo, close to all the museums, all that stuff. So just really centrally located there in Stapleton, or it used to be called Stapleton, now it's called Central Park. Then we get to number one. The number one suburb of the Denver metro area is Highlands Ranch, Colorado. And maybe I'm a little biased because I've lived here for 12 years, but it's a phenomenal location. Really, you've got 4 rec centers. It was a planned development that happened back in 1978. Mission Viejo planned this community, 40-year plan, and executed it very, very well. The rec centers are in diamond shape: Northridge, Eastridge, Southridge, Westridge. And we've got 26 parks. You've got about 18 miles of interconnected trail system and about 10,000 acres of open space in the backcountry, and construction ranging from the early 80s all the way up until today, with some of the new builds. And there's actually some newer builds coming, new construction in Highlands Ranch, Colorado. So it's a phenomenal place. Test scores very high on great schools. You'll have to check that out. But it's a good area where people love being this close, where it's 20-25 minutes to get to downtown, 10-15 minutes to get up to the Denver Tech Center, which a lot of jobs are in the Denver Tech Center. And then you can swing around. You feel like you're still tight with the mountains. You can still see those, and they're nice and big in sight. Where you get too far east in town and you start losing the mountains. They get further and further away as you get closer to Kansas. So that's just how some of the locals feel. A lot of people that I've talked to would agree with these, but you may have your own opinion. I'd love to hear it, and I'm always open to it. So hope you've enjoyed the list today. And if you're interested in getting more information about like homes in these areas, real estate in these communities, definitely reach out and subscribe to my channel, and I'll make sure that you get everything that you need as far as that goes. And I'm happy to talk about ins and outs and like specific questions that you might have if you're planning a move to the Denver, Colorado area. These are definitely areas that you should probably know about and know more in depth about if you're actually planning a move here. So look forward to talking to you soon, and thanks for subscribing, and we'll see you on the next one.